Welcome to Shiny Speaks, where we inspire you, break cycles, and work on all wellness. If you have not seen the Mike Todd interview with their future wifey with the Terrius Whitfield, you should go see it. Everybody know that Pastor Mike Todd have some controversy when he preach or things that he does. First and foremost is that I don't agree with everything that he does. But that interview gave me an insight of who he is following, who is speaking to him, who is in his ear. The first thing he talks about is obedience. And he goes in to say that when you are obedient to God, he can trust you with bigger and larger things, especially if he gave you something small, that he could trust you because of your obedience. Because when he tells you to move, you move. So he can trust you when you are obedient with larger things. Then he talks about faith. Everybody know what is faith. You cannot see it. You just believe that it's gonna happen because you know you serve a good God. You know you serve a big God. So faith is something that you cannot see. And he says when God speaks, he just moved because he knows when God speaks, he has a reason for why he's telling him to move. And he says when God tells you to move or do something, an assignment, he always bless it. Okay? And he said the anointed always have God hands on it. Okay? And he also advised that we stay under God hands. We all know if we stay under God hands, under his protection, everything will be fine. Everything will be okay. There's a part in the interview where Letarius asks him, who do he go to get his ideas, his inspiration? And he said first he goes to God. He goes in prayer. He asks for wisdom. He asks his wife and his mentors and things like that. And to me, that is smart because the first person you should always seek is God. And then your partner, and then everybody that's working with you that that got your best interest at heart. So he talks about that. And Notarius asks him, did he always want to be a pastor? The funny part is most of the good pastors, they always say, I did not want to be a pastor, or I was like Jonah, refusing to obey or something, and then God just put his hand on me and I have to obey. So he said he never wanted to be a pastor. He wanted to be a producer because that's what he was good at. But when God called him 2 a.m. in the hotel that he was staying, he obeyed, and and ever since then he been walking with God. He do not want to manipulate God's word for money or deals or in the sense of for fame and things like that. He says because that he have so much on his plate. He's a pastor. He has a lot of people on his schedule. He asks for wisdom every day because he carry a lot. Then he went to his childhood and talks about how he was abused as a little boy from another I guess person, and how that affected him. And he spoke about like having the right person at that time when he is the most vulnerable to help him get through that situation. And for me, I would never guess that something happened like that to him. I've heard of him, but I never really dive deep into anything that he really does. I know I did a video when he did the spit on the guy's face and things like that, and I probably watch his relationship videos, but other than that, I didn't really know nothing about him. Pastor Mike Todd says that he is a vessel, not a special one, just a submitted one. And he also said God cannot heal what you won't reveal. Okay, some people like to hide secrets, don't go to therapy, hide their traumas and things like that, and want to look perfect in front of the world, but they don't want to, speak their trauma out loud, or the fear of being judged. And he said in his book, Damaged But Not Destroyed, that this book is very a vulnerable book for him, and that he reveals a lot about himself. And he also spoke life to people that are damaged, that are tired, that are frustrated with life. And he says that God can restore and recreate, everything that you have lost, and give you back everything, because he is God. One of the important things he says is damage. You are damaged but not destroyed. And he said God made him write this book because he did not really want to write it. He probably would have write something else, but God told him to write it. And he said the last one is God promotion sometimes come through pain. And he ain't lying. Sometimes you gotta go through some things to be promoted. Okay, you gotta have loved ones or people betraying you, or something happened to you for you to get promoted to where God is taking you, because not everybody is gonna be where God is calling you to be. Not everybody's gonna go with you. So he talks about that. It's a very inspirational video. It reminds me to keep my faith and be obedient to God when he tells me to do something, and that God plans always work better than ours. So go watch that video. It's really inspirational, and I'm glad that I've learned some things about Mike Todd, and I'm so glad that he is moving with God. Okay, there's some things we may question, but as long as he moving with God, what can we say? Because he's the one in prayer. He knows how God speaks to him and tell him what to do. So at the end of the day, we could talk all we want, but if God say move this way and he's moving, what else can we do as Christians? Okay, like, comment, subscribe to my channel, because over here is on and popping. Bye.